So there's multiple places that on different cars that will have a where their spare tire will be. In this particular car, the spare tire is in the trunk under the floor, and with it you have your car jack, and you also have the tool or like crank that comes with it. It goes in there just like that. Back here you also will have a tool to get the lugs off the tire, and the major part, your spare tire.
To check the tire pressure of your tire, you use a simple tool called a tire pressure gauge. The way this works is you put it on your tire, push it in, and it will measure your tire's pressure in PSI. Each tire has a different tire pressure. And to find out what your tire pressure is, you can either look in the manual of your car's book, or you can see on the actual tire to find out what your pressure is supposed to be. So to start, you're going to remove the cap off of the tire. Now that the cap is removed, you're going to put the tire pressure gauge where the cap was and push. Then it will stick out and you'll be able to read the pressure. So this is at 33 PSI and it's supposed to be at 40, so this tire could use a little air. That is how you check your tire pressure.
Okay, so there's two ways to check your tire depth. The first way is with your tire depth gauge, and your second way is with the penny. You put the head of Abe looking down. If it is below his head, the top of his head, it's no good. But if it's below it or on top of it, it's good. So I'm going to demonstrate with the gauge first. You take a gauge and you put it down flat. You push it down. And if it is below 2:32 seconds, then it is no good. And now I'm going to demonstrate with the penny. Like I said earlier, if it's below his head, it's no good, but as you can see with this one, it is good. Alright, and that's how you check your tire depth.
Alright, so say you've blown a flat on the side of the road. This is what you'll find in the back of your car to use to jack your car. Now for this device, you will simply take this hook-like object and put it into this, and then turn to raise it and jack the car. And if you want to release it, you take the straight edge of this, insert it, and twist. But for video purposes, we're going to be using this bigger jack that you use to rotate your tires at home. Now for this kind of jack, you're going to make sure it's turned to the right when you want to be able to jack the car up, and when you want to release the car, let it down, you want to turn it to the left slowly as the car releases. And that is now a jacked car. Now that we have all the lug nuts off, we're going to proceed to take the tire off. Now make sure when you're taking the tire off, your body is not under the tire at all, and make sure that you're not pinching your fingers or anything when you take the tire off, because you can do that. Alright, now that the tire is off, we want to show you what a brake is. This is the brake. When you apply pressure to the gas pedal, this comes down and stops the tire. It stops the car. Apply pressure to the brake. Alright, so now we've taken off the bad tire, we're going to put the good tire back on. Now usually, if you're in a car by yourself, you're going to have to do it by yourself, no one's going to come off the road and help you. But for now we're going to simulate like you have a passenger or something like that. That's why Sawyer's here, because he's going to hold the tire in place while I screw on the bolts with the tire iron. So now we're going to proceed to put the tire back on.
Remember not to pinch your fingers when you're putting the tire back on. And you're going to do it counterclockwise every other lug nut, as Brendan is doing right now.
Also known as the star pattern.
Now, using the tire iron, we're going to tighten the bolts so that they'll stay on while you're driving the car, because we all know if they come off, so will the wheel. So now that the tire is on, you can proceed to take the hubcap. Make sure there's no rocks or small pebbles within it. Take the hubcap,
Put it right back on.
make sure you line it up correctly, and put it back on.
And your
When changing your tire, there are 3 things you want to always remember. You first want to make sure that you don't have your wheel chock behind the wheel you are changing. You only want it behind the wheel that you're not changing. Second thing you want to always remember to have you always want to make sure you have your emergency lights on. So that way everyone knows that you're having tire problems and you're changing them on the side of the road. Lastly, when changing your tire, you want to make sure you always have your parking brake on, so that way your car can't roll off as you're changing the tire. That is it, guys. That's how you change a tire.